I don't know. It's unreal. It's still like, oh my God, he's my fiance. I love saying it still.
But I think this is definitely the time where we know this is the best time. We get to just be ourselves and really share that. So just from the beginning, though, it's not uncomfortable for us to go looking at houses. Like, we're in this to build a future and build a life. So, and that's what we're doing.
Here's what I think
that's
too.
what we're doing.
Everybody always, like, the people who do know about us, you know, are like, is he, when they ask me about him, they're like, is he, because I think it's a fear. Like, you go in and you see one person on camera and then you get off camera and you're like, are they that same person? And I've always told people, he's not the same person that you see on camera. He's even better. And even more of everything that I wanted. Even in the little things day to day, I'm just like, I don't for 1 second have a doubt in my brain. Like,
never.
I'm so glad it's him.
That's how it should be. I would agree with you. Same thing with Brian. I felt like, I remember thinking you're engaged and you're like, oh shit, I'm engaged. And then you spend those next few hours and you're like, oh my gosh, this is even better than I thought. I knew I trusted my gut and my heart and I made the right decision. And it's so like great to hear that that's exactly how you feel. And what I liked about this episode with the two of you is I felt like Claire, people have been ridiculously hard on you. And what I'm going to try not to go on a soapbox, but because, you know, I get real defensive over you. But what I've also noticed is that people these days are so comfortable being mean and nasty, and they thrive off that and they feed on that. And it's really disgusting to watch and see it happen. And in this episode where we see you, we finally understand the meaning behind the words, congratulations, you've blown up the Bachelorette. We see what happens with you and Del. We see you leave the men. We see you guys get engaged, and we see you go off to live happily ever after. I think what was so key is that first date, the first one-on-one that the two of you have with one another, and the way you guys connect, and the things you have in common that you didn't even realize. And so it solidifies that feeling that you felt with one another, because you also have so many other things in common. So we want to break all of this down, but I hope that people watching it are like, okay, you know what? I was wrong and I jumped the gun, and what they were feeling, they trusted it and they took a risk, and has been extremely rewarding for them. And I really hope people change their tune. Not that you have to please everyone, not that this is what it's about, but that people will have a little bit more of an understanding as to why you two fell so quickly for one another, and why it's real and it's right. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it. And I'm ready. Like, ask me the tough stuff, the hard stuff, any questions you guys have. Like,
we will.
I'm here for it, because I agree wholeheartedly, Rachel, with what you're saying. This has been, like, I've been a part of the franchise for almost 7 years, and still, like, as thick of skin, like, as anybody can have, with all the hate that's going on, with all the negativity that's spoken about this. Like, I get that I am not for everybody. I get that everybody might not do what I did or agree with what I'm doing. But at the end of the day, this is all for love. And to be sitting here just feeling that feeling of love at first sight. Granted, it's not the norm. It's not what people are expecting or what people are used to, but how can you predict something like that? There's no way to predict it. And I think honoring yourself, honoring your truth, I don't comprehend with all the negativity, like, how people can take that any other way than something that's beautiful to me. And even, I don't know, I try to rationalize all the hate too in my brain. I'm like, I know that it's a different type of year. It's COVID, it's the elections. Like, there's a lot of high stress things going on, and people need this outlet, I guess. And we're an easy target, this relationship, to easily point fingers and judge. It's easy to just spew your hate on something from the inside to get it out. But I think I really do hope that people take a step back when they see this and watch it, to know that this is just stemming out of, like, pure love.
Yeah. And I mean, whatever happened to get us to this point, even though a lot of this has been, you know, overwhelming at times, just from just even having to see and deal with some of the things, like Clare, just like on the show, has handled everything with such class and elegance. But like whatever happened, it's got us together here right now. And we committed from the beginning, and we both felt it. You could see it from episode 1. And then after this last one, you know, it's undeniable. So whatever had to happen so we could be here together, it's all worth it.